We live in one of the most diverse countries in the world, with over 400 languages spoken in London alone. But something is happening, something underlying the subculture of our youth. What is it? Why is there so much gun and knife crime happening amongst the youth population of this great country? What makes or breaks the new generation to pick up a knife and use it? Well, that is exactly what we are going to find out in this documentary. In the last 4 days alone, there has been 3 murders and 1 person left in critical condition. It seems like it's slipping away. We are going to find out what the people living in this country really feel about this topic and broadcast it to the world. For this particular assignment, I'm doing a documentary about the recent surge of youth crime within the capital, and I would like to get an idea of what the people think and feel on the topic. So would you like to introduce yourself, your name and where you're from?
Yeah, sure. My name's Isaac Charles. I'm 18 and I'm from East London.
My name is Katie Milner and I live in Lewisham in South East London.
Hi, my name is Nera and I live in Conadell and I'm originally from Somalia.
My name is Camilla and I live in Hackney and in London, and I work at Westminster Kingsway College as a fashion tutor and lecturer.
Okay, hi, I'm Alejandra Elizabeth, and in terms of from, I guess I'd say London and LA.
So I'm Ali Rafai, from South London, Southwest London.
What do you feel about when you see gang culture in the media? How is it portrayed?
I think recently gang culture's been portrayed more as something that's, taking over the city. I think people feel like it's like a media sort of infection, the way that the youth have actually taken over basically through gang culture. So yeah.
When I see gang culture portrayed in media, I find it quite scary, and particularly because my eldest son is nearly 19 and he goes out a lot with his mates, and sometimes I don't know where he is and sometimes he comes home really late, and so I worry about him just travelling in London, and a lot of it seems really random, so I worry about random situations that he could maybe get involved in. So from a personal point of view, it's about my own son.
When it's portrayed in the media, I always feel it's more violent and scary than it actually seems in real life. As someone who lives in Hackney, you'll hear about things that are really close by, and you'll get your parents calling you going, "Are you in danger? Are you just about to be stabbed or something?" And it's absolutely fine, and you barely hear anything about it when you actually live somewhere.
It seems to be affecting a certain demographic of people. One of the main things that I've noticed, I would definitely say, is that a lot of them is either drug related, gang related, or depending on where their socio-economic background is as well. I think a lot of it has an influence, and the media does not help.
I mean, I feel as if people are getting influenced in the wrong way these days through music. What do they call it? Drill.
Drill, yeah.
Drill music plays a big role in what people are doing.
Do you feel hesitant at all whenever you have to go to parts of London, parts where it's high in crime?
Definitely. I mean, sometimes you walk outside your house and you never really know what's really going to happen to you. But yeah, man, I definitely feel sort of hesitant to leave my house sometimes.
Yes, by all means, I would say I avoid going to South London. I can count the amount of times that I've been. So, yeah, don't cross South London before.
It all depends on what time it is, what area, like where you're at the time. If I'm around my area, I feel pretty safe because pretty much, it's my area.
Yeah. Do you feel hesitant whenever you have to go to parts of London where it's high in crime?
I mean, usually I don't really go to high crime areas purely because like I don't have any purpose to be there.
No, I don't feel at all scared anywhere in London. But I probably wouldn't go out on my own at night. But like in the daytime, I wouldn't walk around at night on my own.
Yeah.
But like, I don't feel scared, no.
What do you think about the coming age, the youngsters that are going to be growing up and having this experience of reality?
To be honest with you, I kind of feel sorry for them. You know, it's not a great time to be alive in London right now, considering there's been 70 murders up to date till today.
Just this year alone?
Just this year alone, 2018. I think it's very sad.
Yeah, I do feel fearful for my younger children as well. I worry what life will be like for them in London when they're older, and it's made me think that I might actually like to leave London at some point because I want them to feel safe and be able to go out and, you know, just be a normal teenager. And it does feel like it's getting worse. It's getting worse in all of England, not just in London.
I feel like it obviously will depend on the child, because obviously if a family is from a higher economic background, they won't have as much worry to deal with it. But for those who are in a lower economic background, you know, their parents have to be very cautious, because obviously like crime 10 years ago is very different to crime now.
I feel that it stems from, well, partly I feel like it stems from you know, people's homes, people's upbringings. I feel like it stems from peer pressure as well. I feel that some individuals are, you know, sort of lost. You know, some individuals they grow up in deprived homes, and some people grow up without a mother or a father. You know what I mean? So I feel that the upcoming generation is it's a bit more vulnerable, you know, than the generations that have passed.
You know, I think it all relates back to social media, because it's such an accessible and vast platform. There's no, even if there's age restrictions on the videos that are classed as like drill music or whatever, you could just make an email and put a date of birth a year later than what you was born, or a few years later than what you was born, and then that makes you the required age to watch the video.
Do you feel it's a mother's duty to know and to actually steer away his or her child?
Well, you can try, but I mean, my son's nearly 19 and he doesn't listen to me. You know, I can't force him to stay in. I can't tell him where to go or who to be friends with. So it's, you know, I think obviously you want your children to be safe, but you can't tell them who they can be friends with. I mean, but I think if there were more activities for young people, you know, there were lots of youth clubs, lots of them have been closed down now, and I just think the government don't really care about young people, and this is one of the results of that.
And I mean, if this was a generation for if I was having kids, I'd have to say, like, I'd make them as aware of everything as possible, but what they choose to do, that is out of my hands, is up to them, and then they have to realize the consequences and responsibilities that they have to take to keep themselves safe.
From a mother's perspective, what is your view on parenting?
Discipline, keep them busy.
Is it the mother's responsibility or is it the father's responsibility?
It's definitely,
make sure the male teen.
It's definitely it's a joint venture. It's both parents' responsibility to ensure that they don't their children do not end up in a situation where they're affiliated with gangs or knives. I don't think you could blame a single parenting home. I mean, yes, society is no longer deemed as having that nuclear family, so to say.
I think the media have also made it seem as if drill music is the cause to everything bad that's happening in the UK at the moment.
But isn't it partly to blame?
I feel like it's influential, and I mean, these young men, in some music videos, they will, you know, glamorize violence. But I feel like it is influential, but it isn't the main cause. Because some of these young men, they're actually rapping about their lives. You know, they're rapping about their reality.
What do you think about the music that the youngsters are listening to nowadays?
I think it's absolutely crap.
Do you care to elaborate?
I mean, I don't personally listen to it. However, I'm sure it appeals to a certain type of people, but it's just not my cup of tea. I mean, a lot of it glamorizes,
yeah.
glamorizes, you know, violence and alcohol and drug use, and it's just, yeah, it just doesn't appeal to me at all.
Yeah, I know I keep on going on about the drill music topic, and I'm not taking away from anyone that writes music, because music is a freedom of speech. Like, people rap because they rap about their life, they rap about what they've been through. But then with drill music, people rap about things that they've done to other people. And then as a kid, if you're sitting there with your headphones on the bus blasting music, and every minute that goes along that bus journey, you're listening to someone talking about stabbing someone, shooting someone, selling drugs, I don't know, standing on the block, whatever they talk about and whatever they do, then yeah, I feel like that plays the biggest role in exactly in what happens. Or
These young boys, they're rebellious. That's just the way boys are. But I don't feel like drill music is. I feel like it's an influence, but I don't feel like it's the cause. Really and truly, I feel like we need to look. We need to have a look at what the government's actually doing. The government have taken how many police officers off the street, and they've taken how much money out of, you know, communities and things like that. So these young men, they don't have anything else to do apart from, you know, go and do these things. And, you know, so yeah, that's what I feel.
Do you think having more police officers is the answer?
I think the cutting police on the streets has made a big difference, but I don't agree with stop and search either.
I was never really into all that rubbish. I've always hated that rubbish. I've never been a violent guy. I hate violence. I mean, yeah, it is pretty tough growing up. It can be tough growing up in London without, when you were saying as a single parent, without a father figure. I think that also plays a big role.
I mean, personally, I think one of the other main factors that contributes to the recent life crime is the cut to policing, cut to youth centres.
I was gonna,
Yeah, I mean, one other thing that I have to say on this topic is, although it is the parents' responsibility, nowadays we have a sense of, well, there's that saying, you know, it takes a community to raise a child.
Is there anything else that you would like to say before we end?
It's important just for everyone to, you know, take care of themselves, for everyone to stay focused, and you know, help your family, help your friends out in any situation that they're in, and yeah, so that's it.
After all that was said, I believe the problem of youth crimes originate with the person's surroundings. Whether or not there are problems at home, having a dysfunctional family, not getting good grades. These perpetual trivial things that play a big part in a child/adult psychology. Things like this shouldn't hang around a person's neck for their whole life. Instead of having more police, how's about having more youth centres and more chances to pursue the ambitions you feel ambitious about? All I have to say is this: if you haven't lived it, you cannot have a condensed theoretical understanding of it. Instead of cursing at the TV, why not go to your local council estate and have a word with the youngsters and feel the things through their eyes? Whatever it may be a part of the solution and not the problem.